come full circle to talk about education and your role now as a philanthropist. What made you decide to go back and focus on these key sectors, public education, microfinance?
When I retired from the firm, setting up institutions to create leadership for the country, that was no longer my job. But I started seeing more of the poverty situation here. And my estimate was that at the present time, with a population of 100 million, that there are about 3 million illiterate people here. When I came across all this data about how 3 million illiterate people, if you are illiterate, you cannot get a job. If you cannot get a job, how do you earn a decent living? So I'd earlier met the head of cards. I'd helped them out as a microfinance company that was very successful. So I asked Dr. Alib, I said, have you had any experience helping illiterate people for them to learn how to read and write? He says, no. I said, do you think you can help? Would you be interested in working this out? He says, well, we can try. So they had a foundation that does not charge the interest rates of the microfinance part. So I said, all right, I will give you the money. And I trusted him completely. And I had certain savings at the time that ran to about $1 million. So I decided to divide this between Synergia and cards. And he told me this, that rather than donate money, lend them the money. A friend of mine, an American Armenian, heard about my ideas about mass education. So for someone who did not know much about the Philippines, he had visited me one time when, as an individual, but for him to trust me, the commitment of $1 million is something that's unusual. So that's how the total amount of cards now is about 2 million. We had 8,000 students, including not only Leyte, but Aklan and Northern Cebu and so on, and Samar. And my tendency would be, by golly, 8,000 students, we should just cancel the loan. Dr. Alep told me, Wash, don't cancel the loan. He says, just remember, the poor are more honest than the rich. That has stuck to my mind, and I, in turn, learned a lesson. By now, that 8,000 students, the loans, have been paid back by over 99%. I am learning lessons from this education program of both Nene Guevara and cards. And then that gives me a better understanding of the bottom group of society. So that part is part of my post-retirement education. And the more you can do to decrease illiteracy, reduce poverty in the country, I'm sure what we see of educated Filipinos, what they can do as much as any other country can. Then you feel that it's worthwhile trying to help out.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sycip, for your time and your presence. I've had an enlightening time, and I hope you did too. Join me again next week as I dive into the minds and the moves of the country's and region's most successful people, here on Thought Leaders. I'm Quintin Pastrana. I'll see you again next week.